Hello and welcome to this Ride in Portugal DVD. My name is Joseph Berto. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you found a secret to good riding that was so special that you wanted to share it with everybody? Well, that's exactly what happened to me. As representative of Morgado Lusitano in the United States, one of the questions I'm most often asked is, why should I come to Portugal to ride a Lusitano horse? And the answer to that has to do with not only the fact that both the breed and the country are ancient, but also has to do with the fact that the topography of Portugal is quite hilly and rocky. And what that's meant is that the Lusitano horse has had to learn to work in a state of flexion. And flexion means that when he collects himself, or when he brings the front and the back end closer together so that his center of gravity is directly underneath the rider, it allows him to move in a way that lets him cross the front legs or the hind legs, or a combination of both legs in a way that lets him move laterally. Now, the advantage of this for the rider is that if it's done carefully and with respect to the horse, riding the horse is more like poetry than it is riding. Of course, it takes specialized training to teach the horse which aids to respond to perform specific lateral movements. This is perhaps the biggest advantage of riding here at Morgado Lusitano. Here there are two qualified instructors, and both of them are experts at training horses in the classical manner. The effort to obtain this knowledge is priceless and takes years to acquire, yet they will both make every effort to pass it on to you.
What I will do now is that I will give a demonstration of some lateral movements that we will go through while you're here on your riding holiday. So what I will describe now for you, it's what is called leg yield. It will be one of the first movements that we will go through while you're here. So the very important thing when you do a leg yield is that you do it from the center line, coming straight. Then you just push your inside leg towards your outside rein. The horse will have the inflection, the position to the right, while he will go lateral to the left. And you should arrive around in the middle of the long side. Another exercise that also is a lateral movement is the shoulder in. And the shoulder in, it's just like it sounds. The shoulders goes inside the track. It's the inside leg pushing towards the outside rein, and the horse have the position and inflection to the left. The other movement I will show you or demonstrate for you, it's something they call a half pass. It's the same here. You start on the center line, put the inflection to the left with help of your inside leg, then you go lateral at the same direction as the horse have the position. What is very important in this exercise is also that the shoulders are leading. All these movements that you have seen here can also be done in trot and then later on in canter. This particular horse is Ultra Lev and he's 5 years old. But we have a lot of other horses in different ages that all do the lateral movements up to high school. And when you are here during your stay, you will be able to try all of them. And in that way improve your own riding. The primary function of Morgado Lusitano is as a training center for these young horses that are brought in out of the field in preparation for their introduction to classical riding. This introduction can take several years and involves taking the horse through the walk, trot, canter, counter canter, and flying change of lead phase of their training. Once these horses have got to this point, they're usually 5 or 6 years old. And the ones that are especially suited to this type of riding are oftentimes kept here for the clients to be able to ride. In addition to these young horses, we also have several gentlemen professors that we've kept from the days when Morgado Lusitano used to provide a show for clients. This is no longer done, but these horses are so proficient at their Grand Prix movement that they're able to introduce clients into the muscle memory necessary to be able to ride classically.
I've done some leg yielding and shoulder in with my horse, but because he doesn't know it well, we're learning it together, so I haven't done the lateral movements with a schoolmaster very much.
Then you need to think. Then you take Center line, shoulder in. Make sure that you're keeping the line straight, the shoulders inside the straight.
Because she doesn't have a lot of experience, notice Lucy's trepidation as she asks Hercules to do a shoulder in down the center line. Hercules is doing his best to comply with the confusing aids, and as Lucy's confidence increases, the movement will improve.
Go to the right. More energy, When he's in a nice position, more movement. Leg now. Feel it immediately, Circle, right inflection, Your own time, right canter. Good, This side you have a big problem yesterday, and today you came immediately, Yes.
It's fantastic. He's lovely, really lovely, and he's one of the most. Because I've read in some schoolmasters that would do the movements, but they'll only really do them if you have it absolutely exactly. And a lot of the time they will make a lot of evasions. And I feel like he really doesn't do any evasions, so that's what's so good, because he doesn't mess around at all.
Hello, my name is Rodrigo Matos, and I am the rider of Morgado Lusitano and the principal rider of the Portuguese riding school.
Rodrigo is one of the main performing riders of the Portuguese riding school. This institution is one of the last 5 classical schools in the world dedicated to continue and preserve the art of classical dressage as performed over the centuries in the courts of Europe. He has trained Alter Real stallions at the school for more than 15 years to all the high school movements, including passage, piaffe, tempi changes, levade, and the airs above the ground, and is giving clinics in the United States, South and Central America, and all over Europe. His vast knowledge of the art of classical dressage and the patience and calmness at which he passes this knowledge on to you, his students, makes it a real special treat to ride with him. Well, you have met the instructors, and here are some of the working students that work so hard keeping Morgado running. Now I'd like to talk about the horses that you can ride, and then we'll follow Lucy as she continues her lessons on one of them. Without your actually being here riding the horses, it is hard to describe why these horses of Morgado are so special. That is because it comes down to a matter of feel, and I really can't show you that on the DVD. The training of these horses is so professional and their knowledge is so great that they can do their work in a supple and relaxed state. To ride a soft horse is the ultimate goal, and here there are nearly a dozen horses that give you a chance to try it for yourself. All of the horses can perform through a 3rd level dressage test, including all of the lateral work. Some of them through 4th level, including 2 tempi changes, and a couple can even introduce you to Grand Prix pirouettes and piaffe and passage. Your level and style will determine how far you can go, but suffice it to say that we have a horse to fill your dream. This ability to select the perfect horse is just one of the things that makes Morgado special. Another benefit of many horses is that you may not always be riding by yourself. There are many circumstances where riders from all over the world will be paired together if their riding abilities are similar. The fun part of this is after the lessons are over and we all gather in the big house, there's a lot to discuss about what you learned for the day. As this DVD comes to an end, I'd like to show you this instruction that Charlotte was giving to Patricia. She was used to riding warm bloods with large exaggerated aids. This caused Judeo to be awkward and unbalanced, but with Charlotte's help, she refined her riding, and by the time she was put on Trinco, she could request 2-time tempi changes.
Because things that you maybe don't see so much on the warm blood because they're big, on him you see immediately, Good. Good. Keep this equal the rhythm, Think about that all the time. Good. In the end, and straight, Very important you think about the rhythm, Go to. Sometimes when you want him to go fast, you make up, and he start going fast, but it's not his strong point, so we don't mind too much, huh? Just prepare again. When you feel ready, go. Good. There you are, huh? Nice, huh? Transition to walk and a little bit long reins, huh? Good. Yes, right inflection, right inflection. Okay, now look over. Look over your right shoulder. Look, good, and straight. Nice, huh? And the flying change. Good, perfect flying change, huh? Very, very nice. There you had it, huh?
Now Charlotte is going to teach not only flying changes, but flying changes in time, or tempi changes. I'm finishing my visit to Morgado here on a foggy Sunday morning, and though I can ride the 6- and 7-year-old young Lusitano stallions, sometimes I prefer to ride Judeo and Hercules here because they remind me of what is so good about Lusitanos in the first place. Now when you're ready to visit Morgado Lusitano, you can go to the website at www.rideinportugal.com and we'll take care of everything for you. Thank you.